Students, now let's continue with one more problem on probability distribution. Then directly we'll move on to the binomial distribution and Poisson's distribution. Okay, so here is one more interesting problem I have brought for you. A random variable x, take the values -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3 such that p of x is equal to 0 is equal to the p of x less than 0. Okay, and probability that x is equal to -3 is equal to probability x is equal to -2, probability when x equals -1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you have to find the probability distribution if this is the conditions given to you. Okay, so first what we will do is we will consider our probability distribution as say x over here and p of x over here. Okay, so x is starting with the value, least value is -3, -2, -1, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are all the values taken by the random variable x. I will call the corresponding values say p1, p2, p3, p4, p5, p6 and p7. Okay, and what according to the given question it says that p of x is equal to 0 means here it refers to p4. P of x is equal to 0 is equal to p of x less than 0 means it is probability of x less than 0 means it should be p equals probability of x equals 0, it refers to p4. I'll write it here. Probability of x less than 0 means addition of all these excluding 0. So it should be p1 plus p2, probability when x is -3, probability when x is equal to -2 and probability when x equals -1. These are all the values where x is less than 0. So these are all the things. So you have up to p3. Okay. So this is according to this condition. Okay. Now this is another condition given to us. What is that? P of x equals 3 means p1 is equal to p2 is equal to p3 and only p4 is not there, right? p5, p of x is equal to 1, it refers to p5 and that equals p6 and p7 as well. Okay, so all of these values are equal, so I'll call that as say small p. Okay, now since p1 is equal to p2 is equal to p3, I'll get this to be p plus p plus p. I'll write it here otherwise. So p4 turns out to be, because since all of them are being equated to p, so I'll take p4 as p plus p plus p, because p1 is equal to p2 is equal to p3 and that equals p, so that is 3p. So p4 is 3p, right? So when this distribution is proper or probability distribution, it should satisfy one of the important condition, that is summation of all p of x I over I, it should be equal to 1. So we'll use this condition. So according to this condition, you should have p1 plus p2 plus p3 plus p4 plus p5 plus p6 plus p7 is equal to 1, right? Now since all of these values except p4, it is p, so we will replace them by p. P plus p plus p. Okay, so up till p3 it is pp only, but when you come to p4, p4 value is 3 times p. So 3 times p plus p plus p and plus p. So it is 3, 6, 9. So 9p equals 1 or p must be equal to 1 by 9. Okay, so we have got the value for p as 1 by 9. So each of these p1, p2, p3, p5, p6, p7, they are 1 by 9. So this is 1 by 9. Whereas this is 1 by 3. Because 3p, if p is 1 by 9, 3p will be 1 by 3. Okay, so let us do the substitution for the probability distribution here. Okay, I'll do it here only. Your p1 should be 1 by 9. p2 should be 1 by 9. p3 is also 1 by 9. Whereas p4 is 1 by 3. p4 is 1 by 3. Just see that. Similarly, p5 it's 1 by 9. p6 is 1 by 9. And 1 by 9 over here. Okay, I hope this problem was easy and simple. Okay, so now let us understand what are Bernoulli's trials first, and then move on to binomial distribution. Okay, these are few simple examples you can refer. It's very easy. Okay, if you have any doubts, ask me in my WhatsApp group. Okay, we'll continue with Bernoulli's trials. Any random experiment with only two possible outcomes, one as a success and the other as the failure, is called a Bernoulli's trial. Okay, so you can consider any random experiment which has only two possibilities. They are regarded as one to be success and the other to be the failure. It is called a Bernoulli trial, like a tossing a coin. Okay, probability of getting head is a Bernoulli's trial. Okay, why? Because there are only two possibilities. Either you will get head or a. Let's continue with Bernoulli's theorem. So it is once again based on the Bernoulli's trial, which we have discussed before. A Bernoulli's trial is one which has only two possible outcomes. Okay. Now here, what we will be doing is that same trial we repeat it for n number of times. Okay, and we observe the number of successes we get out of n trials. Okay, so what will be the probability of getting such number of successes after in that n number of trials? Say the probability of x successes out of n trials is equal to ncx p raised to x into q raised to n minus x, where p is the probability of success and q is the probability of failure. So the probability of x successes out of n trials is given by ncx p raised to x into q raised to n minus x. So for that, let us prove this. Okay, so how can out of n trials x successes, the probability of x successes will be this. Let's find out. Okay, see here, since p is the probability of successes, x successes, I'll write it, since p is the probability of success, probability of success the probability of x successes. And which are these x successes? Independent success. Okay, one success that does not hinder the other success or the failure in the next trial. Okay, x independent successes will be, yes, is x successes is p into p, all the successes. How many times? X times we are taking. So it will be p raised to x. Yes or no? Probability of p, yes, probability of x successes will be p into p, x independent success, I should say, independent successes. So by multiplication theorem will be, you have to multiply each of the probabilities of the success. How many times? Since we are getting x number of times the success, so it will be p x times, so it will be p raised to x. Now, since there are n x successes and n trials, okay, so remaining n minus x, yes or no? If there are x successes out of n trials, then n minus x are failures, yes or no? Are failures, right? This implies the probability of n minus x failures and since q is the probability of failure, the probability of n minus x failures is, it should be what? Is q raised q into q so on up till n minus x times, or that is equal to q raised to n minus x. Yes or no? Again, by multiplication theorem, the simultaneous happening of both, that is x successes and simultaneous happening, the simultaneous happening of x successes and n minus x failures will be, yes, will be p raised to x into q raised to n minus x, again by multiplication theorem. Okay, now x successes can occur in, yes, n successes out of n trial, I'll say. X successes out of n trials can occur in NCX ways. I hope you know this. In how many ways x successes we can get out of n trials? Yes, NCX ways. Further, by addition theorem, the probability of x successes out of n trials is given by, I'll write it here, okay, is given by n, yes, p raised to x into q raised to n minus x plus p raised to x into q raised to n minus x plus so on, how many times? NCX times, or that is equal to NCX p raised to x q raised to n minus x. This is the required result. Okay, so now, yes, out of n trials x successes we can get, the probability of x successes will be NCX p raised to x q raised to. Here we have to get x successes out of n trials. Okay, x successes means it implies n minus x failures, is it not? Simultaneously both of them are occurring, and in how many ways can we get x successes out of n trials? NCX ways, is it not? All of these is happening simultaneously, so we have to multiply each of them. Okay, so first probability of x successes and n minus x failures, okay, we have to simultaneously happening of both will be p raised to x into q raised to n minus x, is it not? Now that is been repeated how many times? NCX times. That will continue NCX times, so that it will give you the proper probability of x successes out of n trials. I hope the point is clear to all of you. Now continue in my next session with the mean and variance and the actual definition of binomial distribution. There we'll see a few number of interesting problems, and then we'll continue with the further part. Okay, thank you.